I want to call to order the Litchfield City Council for tonight's regular meeting. I ask everyone to stand, and Jessica Emery is going to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We have not really a long agenda tonight, but most of us have already been down here for over an hour, and we'll try to move right through our agenda and take care of the city's business tonight. And the council members have, and the visitors had an opportunity to look at the regular meetings of the last city council meeting on November 15th. If you got any changes, additions, or corrections, now's the time to voice it. If not, I'd appreciate a motion to approve them.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Billy Dallas, we have approval, ratification of bills. Have you had a chance to look over them?
Yes, you had a couple substantial bills there, or the bond principals.
That's what
What
Trudy
makes them
Cottrell
high?
asked about as well. Did you want to make a motion?
I will make a motion.
I'll second.
All in favor? We have some visitors tonight. Does any visitor want to address the city council? You're welcome to at this time. And I generally give people an opportunity to speak before we dismiss and before we adjourn. So I asked Lori to move the visitors up to the front of the agenda we're going to go into executive session in a minute, and keep visitors from having to sit here an extended period of time, but we'll still conduct some business after we get out. And I ask for a motion to go into executive session, deliberation for future acquisition.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
And do we need to make two motions, Earlene? There's one here for proposed
No,
litigation.
as long as you announce both
Yeah, you
purposes,
just
it's
gotta-
fine.
yeah.
Second?
Motion.
All in favor? Let's go back in this room that we just came out of. motion that we come out of executive session in regular session? Second by Clayton, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, we're back on our agenda, and I'll just tell you a little bit about these board appointments coming up. And Paul Stenberg has been sitting on the county PVA board as a city representative. I think they meet once a year. And if their piece of city property comes up before that board, somebody's not pleased with their appraisal or whatever, Paul would sit in on that board, but they're not reappointable. They're for 3-year terms, aren't they, Lori?
Correct.
They're for 3-year terms, and Paul's is up, and we need somebody else to put on that board. And it doesn't pay anything. Like I said, Paul served well, and we need somebody else to put on it. So, y'all think about that and tell me. Michael Pierce is on the Grace County Airport Board. Term ends 12/31/21. I want to suggest the city council reappoint him.
So moved.
Second? Clayton, all in favor?
Aye.
Leon Shaw's term ends on the Planning Commission, Planning and Zoning Commission, December 31st. I'd like to entertain a motion to reappoint Leon.
Make a motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, now this now is going to get a little complicated. David Langley has been on the Planning Commission for about 20 years. I talked to David on the phone, and here's what I'm going to suggest that we do. Steve Kincaid's on the Board of Adjustments, and Steve has built a home outside the city limits, and the Board of Adjustments says you have to be a city resident to serve. So I told Steve I was going to have to remove him. I would like to make a motion, I'd like to entertain a motion to put David Langley in his place on the Board of Adjustment.
Okay, I'll make a motion.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Who was the?
I'll second it.
Okay. Thank you.
Well, that leaves us a vacancy then on the Planning and Zoning Board, and I'm going to suggest that we put George Hack on that to serve on the Planning and Zoning Board.
I make a motion.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
I appreciate it. George would be an asset. George has done quite well. He knows the community, he knows that industry some, and I told him there might be a conflict of interest thing come up that he would have to step back on an issue, considered property that touched his property or whatever, and he said he understood that. The first reading of the ordinance amending the text of Litchfield zoning ordinance create a new definition for short-term renters and allowing by the permitted conditional uses. Are you going to talk to that, Earlene?
Tyler's going to pick up on it.
Tyler? Tyler, why don't you come up here? I'm going to ask you 2 or 3 questions when you get done with all that.
All right, so we put together this new ordinance to put in our planning and zoning guidelines. We've been having an issue with these Airbnbs,
That's right.
and we didn't have anything to go by, basically. They've kind of been a new thing come around to our city. So David and I got together and we talked about some things, some of the other board members, and came up with a definition that we're encompassing all under the short-term rental definition. So that will cover any Airbnb, VRBO, whatever there is out there.
Okay.
So Arlene's going to read the ordinance and everything like that, but this will allow us to permit this to happen without having to go and rezone.
Every time.
Yep.
Okay.
And of course, this would be a conditional use permit, so it would not stay with the property, it's for the property owner. So if an owner was to sell that property, then it
doesn't
would
go-
just go
doesn't
back
travel
to its
with it.
original use. So,
Can they apply then? If the owner, the new owner, can they come back and apply for the same thing?
yes.
But they just have to go through your board?
Tyler, when do you have your, Earlings, are you ready to read that?
I am.
Well, let me talk to Tyler first, and we'll let you.
Okay, that's fine.
You got your first meeting, the code enforcement, coming up. What day?
Tuesday, the 14th, 5 p.m.
Have you cited anybody?
I have done one citation so far. and another one will be due tomorrow if the violation was not taken care of.
I know I spoke to you, but I do want to put the community on notice that we're going to clean up some of these dilapidated properties. Business places on West White Oak, places on E-Town Road or Mill Street. It's embarrassing to us sometimes. Tyler, we're just concluding $50 dilapidated house bringing in, and I know the houses that I passed that's been taken down. How many have you had?
We have only issued 7 permits all year.
Well, that 7's better than
And,
0.
5 of those are completed, and the other 2 are still in progress. And I've had 3 other individuals call and inquire about
Doing that?
doing the permits, but they're wanting to wait till closer to the end of the year.
I say we done that to the end of the year, and I'm going to ask the council next year, and no sense talking about it tonight, because I'm going to talk to Wes and iron out some of the details, but I'm going to suggest that we allow mobile homes be brought to the transfer station for $150. And we're going to eat a lot of crow for doing that, a little money, but I tell you what, every one that we get rid of will be worth it.
Amen.
And it's going to be a good investment in our community and another step in cleaning up our community. But now, some communities are doing that. So I'm going to ask Wes to look into that, and you can look into it as well, and come up with a plan that we know what we're doing when we start taking those in. Are you done? Anybody got any questions of Tyler? Billy, you got any questions of Tyler?
No.
Jessica?
Nope.
Judy?
No, sir.
Martin?
No.
You going to come to the city Christmas party?
Planning on it, yes.
Okay. We want you there. Tyler, you're doing a good job, and we appreciate what you're doing. I know it's going to be a tough road, and when you get done all this, they may run you out of town. Well, me too.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tyler. You glad I encouraged you? Earlene, it's yours.
Okay. An ordinance amending the text of the Litchfield zoning ordinance to create a new definition for short-term rentals and allowing same be permitted conditional uses. Whereas the City of Litchfield Planning Commission of Litchfield, Kentucky held a public hearing on November 8th, 2021 to amend the zoning ordinance to create a new definition for short-term rentals and allowing same by permitted conditional uses. And it received no public objection to the proposed text amendment and has recommended the approval by the City of Council to the text amendment. Now therefore be ordained by the City of Litchfield as follows, that the zoning ordinance be amended and readopted to create the following Article 1.8 definitions: short-term rentals, use arranged for stays of less than 30 days for rent or lease in which accommodations are typically reserved through an online reservation platform. Short-term rentals may or may not be owner occupied during the times of occupancy. Note the following. Number 1, use shall not adversely affect the uses permitted in the area in the immediate neighborhood by excessive traffic generation, noise, or light. 2, off-street parking shall be available for all renters. 3, the use shall be in compliance with all other applicable state and local laws, including Grayson County Health Department regulations, building code, business registration, and occupational license requirements. 4, short-term rental uses do not allow commercial uses such as meetings, seminars, tea garden parties, weddings, receptions, or concerts unless such uses are permitted by right in the underlying zoning district in which the short-term rental use is located. Number 5, a short-term rental license must be issued by the Planning Commission office prior to operating such use. 6, all short-term rentals are only allowed as permitted conditional use. Number 2, Article 3.8.2C, permitted conditional uses. 5 short-term rentals. 3, Article 3.8.3C, permitted conditional uses, short-term rentals. Article 3.84C, permitted conditional uses. Number 5, short-term rentals. Article 3.8.5B, permitted conditional uses. Number 8, short-term rentals. Article 7, 3.86C, permitted conditional uses. Number 5, short-term rentals. Section 8, Article 3.8.9C, permitted conditional uses, short-term rentals, and deleting the prior notification. 9, Article 3.810C, permitted conditional uses, short-term rentals. 10, Article 3.811C, permitted conditional uses, short-term rentals. And this
Is
is
that
only
it?
first reading, we'll vote next time.
Earlene, I
Yes.
think I heard in reading that ordinance, and I'm not sure if that's appropriate, I want it in there, if you can put it in there, and I think you've already got, is that the short-time rentals are subject to any taxes and fees that put on by the city and county government?
Yeah, well, it's subject to any state and local laws, so.
We're having an issue of not collecting those fees from some of the local B&Bs or whatever.
Yeah, and that is a issue that we've had, and, you know, those local B&Bs do fall under our hotel tax, and so that is an
Yeah.
ongoing issue we've had.
Thank you, Earlene. Anybody got any question on that? Billy,
Is-
you got any question?
No, sir.
Jessica?
Is that the only issue you've had, oh, that's loud, is the taxes, or was there something else, Tyler? I was just curious.
As far as the zoning goes, the other issues that we were having is neighbors, basically. We've had some that are only in residential zones, they're not in any sort of commercial zoning or anything like that, so nothing like this is permitted in those zones, and we've had some people doing it, and we've had complaints on it, and, you know, we were able to stop them from doing it, so that's pretty much the only issue that I've seen since in planning and zoning.
Gotcha.
Thank you, Tyler. Tootie, got any?
No, sir.
Mark, Clayton, Moon? Okay, then, strategic planning is on our agenda. We've worked an hour on that. Bevel Trail Grant update. Tammy Saltzman's not here. She was called away to Florida for a family emergency and not able to be here tonight. The annual Christmas dinner is this Friday night at 6 o'clock, and we needed to know today who all is attending, and your spouses are welcome. Have you, Billy, did you send yours in?
No, did I?
I don't know. Christy Booth's
Christy
got all
Booth's doing it.
that, so I'm not sure.
I don't know.
Are you going?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, write his name down
I
just in
think we
case.
had another list, didn't we, somewhere else?
Fireman.
There
probably.
may have been a sign-up sheet at the firehouse.
Well, that's where I
Yeah.
think I signed it.
Jessica,
I won't be in town.
you're gone. Judy?
Yes, 2 of us.
Two.
2.
Two, and
Okay.
Joyce and I. Earlene, you coming?
I am.
David, are you coming? Yeah. Wes?
Yes, sir.
Tyler? Matt,
Jeremy?
you coming? No, you're not. The Reese's, y'all go, no? Okay, filing date to run for public office is January 7th, 2022. It has to be by the first Friday, before the, well, just read the ordinance on that while ago. I'm not gonna quote it now. Wes, you got anything to say?
No, sir.
You sure?
I'm sure.
David Riley?
No, sir.
Chief Riley?
Nothing.
Earlene?
When we came out of executive session, we did not give a brief summary. I just wanted to make sure we included that as part of our minutes. On the acquisition part, we did talk about annexation. That's something that's going to be upcoming in some meetings. I think that's something that's going to help the city grow, and I think that's something you're going to see on your agendas before long. Also, on the possible litigation, there is insurance claim that's been made against the city for some property damage, and we're discussing that and possible routes to take on that, so. But other than that, I don't have any. I just want to make sure that was in the minutes.
Thank you, Earlene. Lori?
The only thing I have is the chamber luncheon this Thursday. I think the only two people, besides the mayor, is Tootie and Clayton. Is anybody else going to that?
Can you put me down?
I can't. I think that's all I have.
Moon?
I'm good.
Clayton? You sure, Moon? Are you sure? Clayton?
Yeah, I've got 2 things. Wes,
Yes, sir.
where are we at on, I've been questioned again by Scotty over there on his deal.
We're trying to come up with a feasible solution to his problem, without it costing, I think the estimate we got was 60,000 maybe. So we're trying to come up with something a little more feasible for that. And right now, Ryan, we haven't really come up with much.
Right.
So we are trying to work on that to get that resolved. So
Okay.
hopefully, figure out something that will work over. It's just a bad spot. I mean,
It is bad.
years and years of blacktop has filled, the street is raised and the curbs are even with that now, so it's,
Right.
and the most of that expensive part of it was the milling of that back down
So
to get rid of
expensive to
that.
do that.
And put it back like it was before.
Right.
Of course, it was concrete before, so they blacktopped over concrete, so, but hopefully we'll get something figured out
Okay.
that'll make him happy.
And then one more thing, over there in the Litchfield Cleaner Alley, just after you turn off West Main there on Cleggett, there is I'm getting some complaints, there's a dip right there when you first turn off or you're coming out,
Hey,
people hitting that dip, and they was wondering about getting that fixed.
well, and we just blacktopped that street this past year, I believe it was. And we had to put that dip in there. Without that dip, it floods at apartments.
Oh, okay.
Because that dries, there's no drainage across the street, so that's how the water gets across. And
Okay.
I can put a sign up that says dip ahead or something, but it'll be right in the parking lot of the
Oh, Leitchfield Cleaner.
cleaners or in the apartment parking lot, because there's really not any
Right.
room on either side to put that. And we may try a dip ahead or something at the ends, just so people will know, but, you know, it flooded a couple of times over there was it this year, I believe, Billy?
Yeah, this year.
And they had to come back in and mill that
Sure.
out and make that ditch across through there to get that water out of there.
Okay.
Is there any way to paint it? Just to bring notice to it?
Might be able to put some, like kind of like the hospital crossing
Right.
over, it's got the little arrows, so you
Yeah.
know that there's something there that.
Right.
Because at nighttime, it blends in, you don't even notice it, you just,
Yeah.
it's like a speed dip instead of a
Yeah,
bump.
that was the complaint,
Yeah.
you know, they was banging, you know.
Yeah, if you go the speed limit through there, it's not too bad.
Yeah, yeah.
Speed bump.
Well, we didn't say that.
I mean, it is what it is, I mean, yeah,
Yeah, understand.
What is the speed limit, 50?
yep.
Clayton, you ready, you done?
Ready.
You got any more thing to
Oh,
say?
yeah, no.
Margie?
What about Miss Tammy over there? You done anything for her? Wes,
I'm sorry?
Miss Tammy over there and.
On Asbury,
Well, we've got most of everything done. Arlene, have we done anything with the filing at the courthouse?
No, they've still got to sign.
Okay. But we do have a plan that we're trying to get lined out, but I have to get both parties to agree to it. And it's gonna be an extensive work around her house, so
Yeah.
it may be spring before I can
Yeah.
get to that, where we don't do more damage than
Yeah.
what we're doing.
You got anything else, Margie?
sir.
Tootie?
No, sir.
Jessica?
Nope.
Jessica, let's set another strategic planning meeting for the second meeting in November, not November.
January.
February or March.
March.
March. They make it on the quarter. We'd have 4 quarters a year.
That's awful far out.
I'm gonna be here anyway. When, what do you think?
Didn't matter to me.
What do you
We'll go
think?
February?
February's fine with me. I mean,
Last, second meeting in February. General public's invited. We want people, at some point, we would like to have community members to come be part of these committees and do a lot of the work and let us just supervise, because that's what I'm really good at. Will be the second meeting in February, Jessica, 5 o'clock.
And thank you all that came tonight. We appreciate your
Yeah.
participation.
Billy, you got anything?
No, sir.
Did you have anything else, Jessica?
No, I'm good.
Okay, Lori, can you think of anything?
No, can't think of anything right now.
Now, here, motion adjourned?
I make a motion.
Second.
We're adjourned.